Hey everyone, hope you all doing well. So this is weeks 4, my 10 picks plus my 4-teamer. Last week it was kind of a bittersweet week. I only bet 9 because when I finally got down to bet, when I went over to casino Friday to bet, their system was down, so I had to bet Saturday morning. And by then, Coastal Carolina had gone up to 14.5, and I didn't feel comfortable betting that. So I only bet 9, and we only went 5 and 4, which was disappointing because in the middle of the afternoon, I checked on everything, and I thought for sure we were going to go 7 and 2. I mean, about 7 minutes and a half in the game, Marshall was up, what was they up by? Something like 17 points, and they were driving down to score. 7.5 minutes in the fourth quarter. And they failed to get they went for it on 4th and 2, failed to get it. ECU comes back, gets a touchdown. Then Marshall drives it down, misses a field goal. ECU comes back, scores a touchdown. And then they get an onside kick and score a touchdown, and they actually win the game. And it was really disappointing. And Army the same way. They, and I should have known a little bit better with Army because Army's never going to embarrass another team, and the spread was too high for that game with a service academy, and they let Connecticut get a garbage touchdown with like 2 minutes left. And I think they won by 31, and would I have 31.5, if I remember correctly, maybe 32.5. But all in all, money-wise, it wasn't a bad week. I did go 5 and 4, and then my 4-teamer hit. So I come out of the week about $350 ahead. So money-wise, it was on a small scale, granted. Now, I'm not no big shark out there gambling big time, but I do it more for the entertainment than the money. But, I made enough to gamble for the next 3 weeks. I'm not spending any of my money. So anyway, let's get into week 4. Marshall, Appy State. Appy State -7. Let me see here. 4:30 p.m. Thursday, tomorrow, September 23rd. I've got the over 58 on that. Both teams have high-powered offenses, and I think that over 58 is definitely achievable for them. And then on Friday at 4:05, Wake Forest at Virginia. Virginia is favored by 4. The over-under is 67. I'm taking the over. I think Virginia's offense is really high-powered. I don't think their defense is that good. And Wake Forest has a decent offense, and they don't have a really good defense either. So that's my pick on that. And then let's see here, 12:30 p.m. on Saturday, Louisville at Florida State. Louisville is a 2.5 point favorite. I'm taking Louisville on that. Florida State, I would not be surprised if they start losing that team. And it's just, it could get real ugly for Florida State. Then at 9:05, all these times are Pacific. At 9:05 Pacific time, Georgia's at Vanderbilt, minus 34. Georgia, I took South Carolina against Georgia last week at, what was it, minus 31? And South Carolina won with the spread, and I squeaked out that one. But I think Vanderbilt's not as quite as good team as South Carolina. You know, I don't think South Carolina's that good. So I'm taking Georgia on that. I don't normally like taking these spreads like this. And, you know, I should say this now. I had a real rough time finding 10 games this week. Real rough time. I spent a lot of time going through everything, looking at numbers, looking at previous games, and honestly, I don't even feel real comfortable with these, but I feel comfortable enough that I'm going to come out ahead if I bet. There's still some teams out there that I still don't know about. And then WVU at Louisville, Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a 16.5 point favorite at home. I don't think Oklahoma hasn't done anything to me yet to prove that they are a top 10 team. I mean, their offense isn't really a normal Oklahoma offense. And West Virginia's got a pretty good defense. It's probably going to be the best defense Oklahoma's faced so far. And it is in Oklahoma, so that gives them, you know, some points there. And West Virginia can score points. They're not no offensive powerhouse by no means. But Oklahoma's defense is a little bit better, but they haven't proven to me that their defense is that much better. So I'm going with West Virginia plus 16.5 at Oklahoma. SMU, TCU. TCU's favored by 10 at home. They're both Dallas games, so they should both have fans there. I'm going to take the under 64. SMU's been scoring a lot of points, but they haven't played a defense like TCU's yet. TCU has been pretty good on the defensive side. Their offense is so-so. If I remember correctly, they've scored 75 points in 3 games, and the bulk of them have come against either FCS or low-level Group 5 team. I don't remember exactly now. But I just don't see them getting over the hump on this over. And then Clemson, North Carolina State. Clemson favored by 10. West Virginia's 4:45 Saturday. SMU, TCU is 9:05 Saturday. And then Clemson, North Carolina State's 12:35 Saturday at North Carolina State. Clemson's offense is really struggling bad, but their defense is playing pretty good. North Carolina State, I still don't know a whole lot about them, but I do know enough about them. I don't think they're going to score a lot of points against Clemson. And I don't think Clemson's offense is good enough to put up big numbers against North Carolina State. So I'm taking the under 47 on that. And then Michigan State, 4:05 Saturday. They're hosting Nebraska. They're minus 5 underdogs. You know, I won last week with Michigan State. And won fairly convincingly. And I'm going to ride Michigan State out until they prove me wrong. I still don't think Nebraska is a very good team. And even though they seemingly gave Oklahoma a good game, I just don't think they're that good of a team. And I'm going to take Michigan State at home at -5. Rutgers and Michigan. Michigan's been putting up big numbers and running up numbers, but I'm not real confident in anybody they played. And I'm not real confident in Michigan. RU's Rutgers is 3-0 as well. Now, I don't think there's any doubt that Michigan's going to win this game. And Michigan does have a history of blowing out Rutgers, but who doesn't? But Rutgers with Greg Schiano, I can never pronounce his name right, even when we were together in the Big East. He's a pretty good defensive guy. And he got Rutgers up to standards they've never seen before in the past. And I think he's slowly doing that again. Their recruiting's gone up. They're doing great. I just think 19 is too much. So I'm going to take Rutgers in the points over Michigan. And then my final game is Navy at Houston. Navy has scored exactly 10 points in 2 games. 7 in one and 3 in the other. And their defense has been all right, but it's not been great. Houston has put up some points in some games, but I don't see them putting up 35-40 against Navy. They could, but I also don't see Navy putting up 10, 20 points against Houston. So I'm going to gamble and take the 48. Then for my 4-teamer, I'm going to take that over 58 with Marshall Appy State. I'm going to take the over with Wake Forest, Virginia. I'm going to take Louisville. And I'm going to take West Virginia plus 16. I'm going to take Louisville plus minus 2.5. And I'm going to take West Virginia plus 16.5. So I'll check back with you next week. We'll go over how the games worked out and see how I did, and we'll go from there. Y'all have a good day. Bye.